There we go. Finally, it worked. How you doing, guys? Welcome to Chord Dave Live, Saturday night edition, and early edition for those of you in the US and Canada and Mexico and places like that. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Cheers. San Miguel is still in the beer koozie, although it's a new one, so a fresh one. I promise. There's beer in it. I swear. I'm not lying, Glenn. Stop challenging me. Cheers to all you. Yes, Saturday night, Chord Dave Live, 1 hour edition. Because of a number of reasons. First one being YouTube has decided to delete all the comments again. So thanks for that, YouTube. And second of all, it's just been one of those weeks. So I'm going to give you an hour rather than giving you nothing. And hopefully we'll get a good hour in. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. It feels like a good one. Interesting week. Interesting week. Reverb announced their top 20 selling guitars of the year. Video about that has been on Patreon since yesterday and will be up on YouTube tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's dive in to the comments and chat and talk about guitars and music and things. And if you've got anything you want to talk about, drop it in the chat there. I do have comments and stuff here. I can see them, so I will bring them up. But let me know if there's anything in particular you want to talk about. And yeah, thanks to all the folks who have been here. Remember, if you're new here, it's your first Chord Dave Live, make sure you're subscribed, because you have to be subscribed for at least a minute before you can chat. So stick around, chat with us, introduce yourself if it's your first time. We will only haze you lightly. And yeah, let's get into it. Don't forget to hit the like button and all that sort of crack as well. That'd be super cool. All right. Some really attractive young gentleman called Chord Dave said, hello, folks. Remember that due to daylight savings and whatnot, we're running an hour earlier this week for those of you in America. So yeah, that's still true. Back to normal next week. I don't know why times change at different times. It's weird. Anyway, let's just hope that gets resolved at some point. Ryan says, Scott Bugfoot's here, by the way. He always is, taking care of things in the comments. Good to see you, Scott. And Ryan's here, and good to see you as always. Ryan says, Dave's been watching too much Back to the Future. There is no such thing, sir, as too much Back to the Future, but thank you for that comment. I do appreciate it. Glenn Bailey is here, and he says, hello all. I was wondering what was going on. Daylight savings doesn't start here in the States till 2 a.m. There you go. You see, you guys are way behind the rest of us, as usual, when it comes to changing your clocks. Glenn says, I thought I got banned again. Well, no, not yet, but soon. It's coming. I can feel it. Definitely. I love Pelham Blue guitars. Good choice. Says, you should be banned, you black guitar loving geezer. I mean, listen, black guitars are fine, as are white guitars, if they're your only option. Otherwise, be more colorful. That's just my thoughts. Marcia's here, says, yeah, Dave, we figured out like an hour ago. Well, thanks. I just, some people might need a reminder. Why is Ireland weird and always changing clocks on a different date? Google told me you guys did it on the 30th. Yeah, that was last Sunday, right? Yeah, I don't know why we do it a different date to you guys. That is flipping weird. I wish we would stop. It's a pain. Actually, it's good when you have connections in the US or you guys vice versa, and you're reaching out to people. It makes it nicer when you're like dealing with a 7-hour time difference and that becomes a 6-hour time difference just for a week, or a 9-hour time difference becomes an 8-hour. Those are better too. But then it goes back next week and you feel like, damn it, I wish time differences were not a thing, but there you go. Just don't be controversial, but that's because the earth is a globe. So, sorry to those of you out there who don't believe in science. Anyways, Marcia says, every time clocks change, we go through this precise scenario until someone remembers that Ireland is weird. Ireland is weird, but it's in a good way. This time I remembered it first. Well, there you go. Good stuff. Just noticed 1 hour edition. Yeah, 1 hour today, just if anyone's wondering. So hopefully everyone's going to join on time and not miss the second non-existent hour for this time. Hey gang, says Al. Good to see you, Al, as always. And Al saying, hey Scott, just watched your Squirrel Flakes commercial on YouTube. Yeah, and by the way, I was checking out some of Scott's videos. He's got some cool ones out there. Here's a link to his channel. Check it out in the comments section there. Scott's got some covers and stuff that I think you guys should check out. If you're not subscribed to Scott Bogfoot's channel, subscribe to Scott Bogfoot's channel. What are you doing? Very cool stuff down there. So check it out for sure. Let me see who else we got. Dean McCaskill's here. Good to see you, Dean. Hope you were well, my friend. He says, hey all. And I got that Joe Strummer telly, my first relic. Very cool, Dean. Hope you're enjoying it. That's it's cool. Colin from Guitarist has really liked it and enjoyed that telly. So hope you were enjoying it. He says you love it. Oh, very cool. It's my favorite telly by far. The job is fairly realistic, but I think I'll change the pickguard. If it's accurate, he must have painted it, then played through. Only way I'd look at it. It'd look like that. There you go. Yeah, I believe that is what happened. Yeah. But there you go. It's cool. Glad you got one you love. Marcia says the Joe Strummer looks great, but I still don't think I'd know what to do with a relic job. I'd probably try to fix it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Ryan says, nice. Didn't like the look of it when I saw the Fender promo pics, but in person it looks great. There you go. Yeah, sometimes that can make a huge difference in person versus, what do you call it? The pictures. Sometimes pictures don't do these things the justice that they deserve. Different colors or unusual colors and stuff like that especially can be something to do. Ryan says it's easy to change. Yeah, if a pickguard's all you need to change, that is manageable by most people. And Dean asking, mint you think or black? And Ryan would go with black. I think I'd go with black on that one, to be honest. Yeah, if you're gonna change it out, for sure. Maybe just get an old one and spray it satin black. That would look good. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Glenn says, well, this late start gave me a chance to see Carl's movie film show latest video. Always a good channel to visit. It is. Carl's movie film show is interesting. And the guy who was on there, he's like the second worst person in the world, but that's fine. He's my brother, so I'm allowed to say that. Glenn says, nice, Dean. I like the looks of the Strummer telly, indeed. And asking Al, are you still rocking that SG? I'm sure he is. Very cool SG. Let me see. We've got Dean says, thanks. I can't stop playing Billy Squier on it. You still, yeah, I still have the SG. Yeah, the playing Billy Squier on the what do you call it? The Joe Strummer is an interesting choice. Good stuff. I like that a lot. Let me see. Scott says, I'm watching and playing guitar. Nothing wrong with that at all. Dean says, I actually bought a Harley SG Junior in blue. Great rig. The new one, the Goto ones, they're supposed to be really cool. Like, I've heard nothing but good stuff about them. So I may look to pick one of those up in the new year if they're still available. There you go. Al says, attempting triad slides used in blues. I tried using my Epi LP, but didn't play easily, and the thick neck is becoming uncomfortable. It's the 59 LP. I like the 61 neck on the SG. It's one of the best things about the SG, the early 60s ones, or ones model after that, is that slimmer neck, I think, in my opinion. But there you go. It's a cool guitar, the 61. Not jealous at all, but maybe a little bit. Glenn says, Al, I thought about the 2408, but went with just the 24. The 08 had too many switches. It seemed a little bit confusing for me. I think I'd constantly be switching, you liking all the tones you're getting. Let me see, where are we now on that? I have to switch between two windows to see. Yeah, cool. I can go back to the normal window. That's all good. So put that back there. Anyway, so just so you guys know what I'm talking about, I have two different windows. One of them shows me if you guys report something like, hey, all the sound is gone, or I can't see anymore, Dave, or whatever. I can see that on one page, and I'm keeping up with the comments on another now. So it's just one of those frustrating things of trying to do a live stream on YouTube. But anyways, let's go. Where we were. It's a 59 LP. Yeah, there we go. Glenn talking about 2408. It's a very cool guitar. You see, Al says the tones are pretty bright. I lean towards the PAF tones. Sounds good. Sounds good. And Dean says, that's a good idea, Ryan, to paint one black, then play through a paint for a more honest wear. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Excellent. Good stuff, Dean. That sounds like it's going to look great. So yeah, looking forward to that. Glenn says, I'm a bass dark tone guy myself. That's too much information, Glenn. You need to keep that sort of thing to yourself. That's another yellow card, I think. Keeping that sort of information. Just kidding, of course. How are we doing, guys? 29 of you are watching. I do appreciate that on a Saturday evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you might be. So thanks for joining us. What have I got here? to show you? A couple of things in a few minutes. Marsh says, Al, I think that's why lots of studio artists in the music biz like them for recording. The bright PRS cuts through the mix really well. Yeah, PRSs are great in the mix for sure. Have a set of Dylan DAFs, but they are not coil, tap, or split. Yeah, those are, I mean, I think it's you who've been telling us that those are really good pickups, but I haven't any experience with Dylan's pickups, but yeah, sounds pretty cool. Dean says, I'm thinking of buying DAFs for my LP Classic. Al, what do you think? And Al says, I might sell my 59 Epi LP in favor of an LP with a 61 style neck. See, that's my feeling. I like that. I like the slimmer neck. So yeah, good stuff. That's what I would say. Let's see. Glenn says, I wouldn't mess with the pups. I'd just hook a pedal up when I wanted some fat tone. Yeah, that works. That works for you. That's all good. Al says to Dean, only if you don't like the tone you currently have. It's a rabbit hole. I would love to compare these DAFs with some Gibson PAFs, not burst bookers. I mean, that would be sweet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you could get PAFs, it'd probably cost you, like actual PAFs, probably cost you, what, the price of a half decent guitar? Yeah, but sure, maybe worth it. Marge says, I was going to suggest that if you don't like the brightness, try swapping for different strings before you switch pickups. The Dario makes balanced and bass leaning options that may mellow it out. That's Marsha promoting the Dario strings, not me. I'm not endorsed by any string companies whatsoever, as you all know. But I'm open to it. It's fine. Ryan says, trying to set up a new pedal board. What a pain in the ass. I love wiring that, but this sucks. Yeah, not something I am very have any knowledge about, to be honest. Alice says, I currently have 9 to 46 on them. I'm not a fan of 10s. Baby fingers. I'm with you. They're all there. 9 to 46 on everything. Although I've been told that Les Pauls should have 10s on them. So maybe someday I'll graduate to 10s. Who knows? Ryan says, how light can you go on an acoustic, Marsha, before it starts to sound too thin? There you go. Good question. We'll let Marsha answer that for sure. Glenn says, good idea, Marsha. PRS makes a version of thin tops to do and heavy bottom strings. Very cool. James Severn says, hello, my Irish brother, 3-Chord Dave. Hello, James. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. Always good to have you here. Al says, Stringjoy does have 9.5 strings, or 9.5 strings, let's say. Might give them a try. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't ever come across those, Al, so that's an interesting one. Dean McCaskill says, the Classic has 61 T ors. I've got a few LPs, and that's my least favorite sounding one. I thought of burst bookers or pearly gates or DAFs. Yeah. Look, you got the Gibson pickup store now, or pickup shop, or whatever they're calling it. So there's a lot of options in there. Custom bookers is another option. Those are pretty cool. But yeah, check out the different options. Who knows? Yeah, let us know what you do go with. That'd be super cool. Mar says, Al, I don't mean changing the gauge. I mean the type of metal the strings are made from. There we go. Yeah, some people will tell you that string. I mean, I pretty much use the same strings all the time, and it's, I've mentioned it these so many times. It's the Ernie Balls and yeah, the 9 to 42s. Those are my go-to strings on everything, and I love them. So why would I change? But yeah, the Didarios are supposed to be pretty good. Al says, hey Scott, how are those squirrel flakes? Folks, you need to see this YouTube video. Absolutely, you do indeed. And Ryan says, Al, you can get Ernie Ball 9.5s as well. Also, they make Fender Hendrix set, which are 10 to 36. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, I didn't know that. Scott's my fake cereal. It's not fake, Scott. Admit it. It's real. And you've been doing it for a long time. I understand. It's all good. Scott, please put a link to your channel. Yes, Scott, please do. I popped one in, but just in case if other folks didn't catch that, pop a link to your channel for sure. Let me see. We got Marsha. I've been using steel strings maybe some nickel combo. That's from Al. And Dario has a chart on their site that shows whether each type of string is bass leaning, treble leaning, or balanced. I'm sure they do. Very good. Dean says, just discovered 9.5s. They're great. All right, guys. Well, maybe I'm going to have to hunt out some good 9.5s. And now that Ernie Ball makes them, because Ryan tells us they do, that's probably what I will. I'll check it out at some point. Put them on something. Enough guitars to try one out on. Ryan says, when did Squirrel Flakes pop up? I missed that one. And Al saw it today. And Scott says, it's an old vape review I made. Some of my best work. The songs, I still hear those songs. Indeed. Indeed, some of your best work. It's putting out some good stuff. I like that Epiphone you're playing in your videos. That I think you posted yesterday. Your Creedence song and everything that you put up there. Good stuff, Scott. I like it a lot. It was good. I enjoyed it. Marcia says, isn't it amazing how 0.5 millimeter difference can really make a difference in playing? I never tried a half step in between, but so many people swear by them. Yeah. You know, there's the smallest difference can make a huge difference. Smallest change can make a big difference to each individual player. It's so interesting. What small changes will do for a player, like the difference in a thick neck and a slim neck is like physically it's not that big, but it can be a big difference to each player in terms of like millimeters and all that measurements and all that sort of stuff. It's not that huge, but it is in terms of playing. So it's really interesting. And it's amazing that some of us really love slim necks. Some people hate slim necks. So, you know, those are wrong. Just kidding. Ryan says, I was supposed to be getting an acoustic made, but the luthier selfishly decided to have a baby. Now I'm looking for one. That is, I mean, yeah, that's not acceptable. You know, who puts having a baby before making a guitar? That's ridiculous. But hopefully after the baby, maybe it'll be an option. Who knows? Mar says, I got to go back and watch some of Scott's stuff. Indeed, he uploaded a crap ton of stuff this week. I didn't have time, but maybe later. Definitely don't forget to watch that. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to both this channel and Scott's, of course, for sure, 100%. But yeah, like this video as well, if you don't mind. That'd be cool. Glenn says, I have a few different gauges of strings just to change things up and make me play different. Well, there you go. You could change it up per song and have a different guitar per song in your set. That sounds good. Anne says, hi Glenn, Scott and Al. Hi to you, Anne. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in. Ryan says, it's ridiculous, like she didn't even think of my gear needs at all. It is one of, you know, she should have thought of your gear needs, but there you go. In future, if you're making a guitar for Ryan, please consult him before conceiving a child. Just ask him what he thinks of it beforehand. That'd be cool. I mean, the guitars are important, you know. Scott says, I've been recording stuff every day for 15 years. I have hard drives full of crap to upload. See, if I could record stuff all day, but there are days when I'm like, I want to record a video, but I don't think I can. Just have nothing interesting to say. Which you may have noticed this week because I scrambled a video together, which you'll see tomorrow, about the top 20 selling guitars on Reverb. Interesting. If you don't know what it is, I'm sure you've seen it on maybe Phil McKnight has covered it, I think, and a couple of others. It's PRS SE Silver Sky, but some other interesting guitars on the list. So definitely check out the video tomorrow. Ryan says, kidding, of course. Indeed, we know, but not really. William Forrest is here, said, yo all, hope you're doing well, William. It's always good to see you, William. Thanks for dropping in. Al says, kidding isn't just another term for giving birth. Yeah, indeed. Scott says, anyone new here, you'll have to subscribe and wait for 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. Indeed, you have to wait 1 whole minute and then you can join us. And of course, again, if you're new, make sure you say hi. Ryan, did you remind him he's getting paid to make guitars, not babies? Indeed. It's a lady, he says, Ryan. But yeah, also she's making a baby, I guess. Ryan says, I have to wait until 2024 now. That does seem like a long way away. However, lots of things are in 2024. 2024 is going to be a good year, I feel. So, you know, it'll happen. It'll be worth the wait. I have no doubt about it. Al says, it's a lady. I feel a Tom Jones song coming on. That's never a good thing. Marcia says, please remember to like and share the stream or else you'll piss me off. And don't test me. I wouldn't test Marcia on that one. That's for some very serious threats right there, guys. Glenn says, where's Dave's pre-show music? Or is it on standard time still? You just weren't listening hard enough, Glenn, I think, is what's going on. And Glenn says, oh, there you go. So there, yeah, see. It's all good. It's all good. It was there all along. Nella's here. Good to see you, Nella. Thanks for dropping in to see us. And Scott says, what's everyone's drink of choice? I'm always drinking coffee. Well, I drink 3 things. Coffee in the morning, 2 cups of coffee in the morning, water the rest of the day. And then I might have an alcoholic beverage of this variety every Saturday or every once in a while when I feel like it. Those are the 3 things I drink pretty much. Occasionally I will drink something like a tea. I had a Coke once. There you go. So those are the only beverages I drink. Usually a lot of water. It's good for you. I went to get my eyes tested and the person was like, you drink a lot of water. I was like, I do. You can tell from looking at my eyes. Apparently you can. So there you go. Health tip of the stream. Drink a lot of water. Let me see what we got. Lemonade for Glenn. Lemonade also for Marcia. Living on the edge. Absolutely. Hard lemonade, I presume. Both of you. Ryan says, anyone down with pedals, you got to see this pedal maker named Wrought Iron Effects. He makes the coolest Cold War Soviet looking stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. For sure. Just like the looks of them as well. I mean, you know, not the pedal guy, but I will definitely be getting more into pedals in the future when I understand them a little bit better. Glenn says, I think it's lemonade. That's what it tastes like. Hopefully it is. William says, half a shandy. Nothing wrong with half a shandy. There you go. Scott Brower's here, says, good evening. Good evening to you, Scott. Hope you are well. And Ben Allmark says, hola, amigos. Dave, stop lying about the beer. I can't. It's the truth, I promise. Scott says, top in dollar amount or in number of guitars sold. I believe number of guitars sold. For the now this is the list is based on Reverb's list, so it's guitars that have been sold through Reverb. So obviously, like a lot of guitar shops sell through Reverb for their international business and I mean local business as well. It's their online store. So yeah, it's one of those. Whether it's reliable or not, I don't know. But there is some interesting things. Like, for example, the number of Epiphones on the list surprised me. The number of Squires surprised me in a different way. So yeah, interesting. Watch the video tomorrow. I think I go through most of the list and give you my solid opinions on it. And those of you who are on Patreon, you will have seen the video, of course, already because it came out yesterday. And Patreon is brand new. So if you want to join Patreon, guess what? In 3 months' time, you could have yourself this beautiful mug right here, which is a special limited edition. It says Chord Dave rocks my world, just in case you can't read it there. And it's available on Patreon only. Now, there will be lots of cool stuff like videos and early access to videos and things like that on Patreon. The links are always in the description. There's loads of links for ways you can support the channel, whether it's signing up for free trials, getting yourself some free Bitcoin. That's a thing you can do. And buying t-shirts and all kinds of things. All those links, if you feel like it, are in there. And another great way to support the channel, by the way, is making sure you're subscribed, liking and sharing all the videos or streams and things like that. That's super cool. And I do appreciate all of that, guys, as well. So thank you so much to those of you who have done all of those things. That's super cool of you. Butterfly Effect says, hello all. Hello, Butterfly. Hope you are doing well. And Benny Larson's here. Good to see you, Benny. Hope you're well. Ben says, Scott, I'm pretty sure it's dollar amount. It might be. It actually could be, because I'd say it would be both in terms of the PRS SE Silver Sky, because that has been selling it's crazy numbers, which would also mean crazy amount of dollars. There you go. Al says, you mean the Earth isn't flat? Well, you know, I haven't been to outer space yet, but not yet. No, it's not. From my science class, I'm pretty sure it's not. Nella says, I'm liking ebony guitars lately. The coronet in black is cool. The coronet is a very cool guitar. I do like it. Wouldn't mind that at all. And Benny says, hey, Scott. And I second that. Scott Power says, just got an ebony SG. Nothing. Every SG is a cool SG. So good stuff. Hope you were enjoying that. Scott says, thanks for the plug, Dave. You're welcome, Scott. I do appreciate all the work you do on the channel too, by the way. Ben says, Nella, the cornet is super cool, as Dave would say. I think I did just say it's super cool. So there you go. AWOL says, hello, everyone. Hello, AWOL. Hope you're doing well. And Robert is here. Good morning, Robert, to you, everyone. Thankfully, the clocks have changed and I'm back at 8:30 start instead of the dreaded 6:30 a.m. Things you do for your favorite YouTube channel. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that so much. And yeah, I'm glad you're back at the 8:30 start for the live stream because yeah, it's a rough one. 6:30. I get up 6:30 5 days a week and I don't enjoy it. So yeah. it's a crazy one to have to get up just to watch us, but I do appreciate you so much, Robert. Thank you for that. Asian Rednecks here, good to see you. Says can't stay, but I will watch the repeat later. Also, just in case it doesn't come up, glory holes. Thanks, Asian Redneck. I appreciate it. And if you're watching on the repeat, hope you're having a good day, my friend. Thanks for dropping in on the live stream and saying hello. Glenn says, hit the like button, people. It's 30 like, and Dave sings a song standing on his head. One of those things I'm able to do. Guess which one? Scott says, Dave, what's the beer tonight? It's San Miguel, which is, I got a big box of it last week, so San Miguel is the beer. It's, I started drinking San Miguel when I was in Southeast Asia, 3, 4, 5 years ago maybe, and yeah, it's a good beer. It's a really nice one. The standard one. They also make a San Miguel with apple, which is the biggest abomination that has ever happened to beer, and you should never drink it. And if my friend James is watching, I do not ever want to drink that again. But we did, because there was nothing else in this one restaurant we went to in the middle of nowhere one time. Long story. Anyway. It's a really nice beer, actually, San Miguel. So I'm digging it the last couple of weeks. Nella says, I'm seriously looking at an Epiphone SG Custom. I'm way more interested in Epi since they've upgraded their electronics and changed the headstock. Yeah, Nella, I appreciate that, and I agree with you 100%. SGs are my favorite guitar. I think everyone knows that by now. The SG Custom is a great guitar. And Epiphone, as you said, I love the new headstock. We've mentioned this. I've talked about it so many times. Like I would... If they were still using the old headstock, I wouldn't be as interested in Epiphones for sure. So I agree with you 100% there. And the electronics, yeah, they're getting better. They're getting better. The good thing is, even with the Gibson pickups shop, you can pretty much buy any pickup you want to put into it. And it's not that difficult to change out pickups and put in new stuff if you want to down the road at some point. But the pickups, the electronics are getting better in Epiphones for sure. Hopefully they'll continue to, because there's still a few steps they need to go, in my opinion. But hey, they're getting there. They're getting there. Benny says to Dean, remember to keep the old pickguard for the resale value. Good point, yeah, because if you're ever going to resell it, you want to put it back to original specs as much as possible. Let me see. Glenn says, it took me a while to get my new pedal board up and running. It was a pain. I don't think I'd ever go through that again. Well, yeah. That's something I probably wouldn't be down for, to be quite honest. I'll get Marty to do it. It'll be fine. My knees hurt says, I'm drinking Georgetown Brewing 9-pound porter, 6.5%, a local beer here in Seattle. I believe you have good beers in Seattle. I should come visit sometime. Good music as well. A lot of my music collection from the 90s is Seattle-based bands. So there we go. I would definitely... love to check out Seattle sometime. Marcia says, I would say 11 to 52 for phosphor bronze might be a bit different for other materials. If you try 10s, you'll definitely need a new nut. Most are cut for 11, 12, 13s. You definitely want to adjust your nut. Ryan says, pedalboard setup sucks because of the predetermined cable length. Also having to do the correct order. Yes. I mean, I would be like, hey, Ryan, tell me how I do this, because I have no idea. For sure, but good to see you. And My Knees Hurt says, the Dario for life. There you go. I mean, look, if it's your brand, it's your brand, and it's cool. I'm dying with Ernie Ball, so there you go. I should try others. I haven't in years. Like, it's been a long time. I've always been an Ernie Ball man. Ernie Ball man doesn't sound right. Anyway, Al says Rolling Rock. Honestly, next time I see Rolling Rock, I'm going to pick it up. I promise. My Knees Hurt says, I'm holding a set of strings in my hands right now. I may change them today. Open D tuning on an acoustic. Very cool. And Scott's got a link to his YouTube channel there. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'll say it again. You should. Some great stuff. Just interesting content all around. Loads of cool stuff and songs and him playing guitar, which is very cool. And yeah, I enjoy checking out Scott's channel. So definitely pop along there. Give him a like, give him a subscribe, check out all his videos. Glenn says, I feel you, Ryan, 11 pedals and all the wiring and order never again. Glenn, I need you to make me a pedal board. Do you mind? I'm just kidding. Al says, I do have 8.5 on my PRS Silver Sky SE because of the longer scale. I think it makes it easier. Billy Gibbons plays 8, doesn't he? Or 7s or something like that. Can't argue with Billy Gibbons. Ryan says, well, yeah, I bought 6 new pedals this week and a new pedal board. This is the last time. Let's be honest, Ryan. It's not the last time, is it? It's not the last time. You're gonna, like, in maybe a couple of years' time, be like, it's fine, I'll do it. And I don't blame you. That's where we're all that crazy. We'll all do the same thing. But there you go. Glenn says, Ryan, are you using the buffer at the beginning and end of your chain? And later on, Ryan says, yes, I am. Marsh says, nice to see you, My Knees Hurt. Indeed. And My Knees Hurt says, I have 9s on my electric and the high strings feel way too small. I'm too dumb to know much about strings. Is the guitar in tune? That's about as far as I go. I mean, sometimes I don't even go that far. So you're all good. Ryan says, Ernie Ball, Primo, Slinky, this Pelham Blue pack are 9.5 to 44. Interesting. Very cool. I should check that out. I will, indeed. Best-selling guitars 2022. Yeah, that's the video. It'll be live tomorrow afternoon, I think. I'm testing out new times, my next few videos. So keep an eye out for them. They'll be on unusual times for my channel. Ryan says, I'm too old to be chugging these days. Yeah, I get you. My Knees Hurt says, no whiskey. For sure. I would like a whiskey. That'd be good. I need someone to bring me one. It's not happening. Murphy's Flab, good to see you, says, OCD, any good? In terms of the pedal, OCD, I think it's a good one for sure. But having OCD, not so good. Al says, I'm a Coke Zero junkie. I do like Coke Zero because I'm weird. Ryan says, I like Coke Zero or water, coffee in morning, beer sometimes. All of those are good. I do enjoy them. My knees hurt. No, you're peeing on my legs. I don't know if I missed something. It seems like I might have. Ryan says better than regular Coke, Al. I agree. I do think so. Yeah, Coke Zero is my choice when it comes to Coke. But I don't indulge in that too often these days. It's water and coffee on my daily beverages. Al says last beer, gonna have to switch to Scotch. That's a reasonable switch. Richard says, I'm like Dave, but I have my beer in the morning. Listen, no matter where you are, it's probably still nighttime somewhere else. So it's all good. Scott says, anyone see the Delarian pedal from VVCO? Yes, I have, and I kind of like it. I kind of want it. It's expensive though, right? It's like $200 or something. I don't know if that's expensive for pedals. Probably not. But yeah. I've seen it. I like it a lot. There's also a Batmobile one, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know who makes that, but it's a pretty cool one. But yeah, I like it. Al says, Squires are discounted at my local shop, and they have a lot. They told me Fender discounted them. Makes the news of the glut of offshore guitars valid. Yeah, there's apparently huge deals coming on Squires for Black Friday. So keep an eye for those. There could be some absolute bargains, but even on the 40th anniversary stuff. And as you guys know, I'm a big fan of what Squire are doing with those. So Yeah, if there's good deals, and I'm hearing as much as 20-25% off, perhaps. If that happens, it's worth stocking up on a couple of these because they're really, really nice guitars. So let's hope that's true. As Corey says, sorry I'm late. How are all of you fine folks doing today? Hit those magic buttons for Dave. And Corey, it's always great to see you. Thanks for dropping in. And yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the shout out there to hit the magic buttons. Indeed, do it. Hit the buttons, guys. And it'll all make things better. Scott says, delay pedal in a diecast, Back to the Future DeLorean. That's what it is, the DeLorean. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. I like it a lot. I should get me one actually at some point, but let's see. Again, not the pedal guy at the minute, but well, I'll get into it eventually. Al is correct when he says, Corey, no need to apologize. Welcome back. Indeed, there's no such thing as late around here. There's early, which is good, but there's no such thing as late. Artemis is here. Good to see you, Artemis. Hope you are doing well, my friend down in Greece. Hope Greece is doing well. Yeah, super cool place to be. Glenn says, Amazon has been discounting Fenders lately, and Fender has been discounting them. And I think more discounting to come. Indeed. Fender have a special offer on Fender Play right now where you can sign up and get a free guitar. I think it's a Squire, it might be a Squire Bullet Strat. I don't know, but it's stuff like that wasn't done in the past. You pay for a year subscription, you get a free guitar. It's kind of cool, especially for beginners. But there you go. Anyway, good way to get your guitar. Get a year's worth of lessons. Scott says, everyone hit the like button or Marsha will emojis. You don't want Marsha to emojis. For sure. Ed Axman, I like pie. Ryan says, is San Miguel the Philippines beer? It is. It is. Yeah, I was standing right outside the factory at one point in Manila, so it definitely is made there. If it's whether this one is, I presume it's made in somewhere else. Where is it? Does it say? Enjoy San Miguel sensibly. Yeah, sure. It doesn't actually say on it. It's supposed to. Anyway, yeah, from what I understand, it's made in the Philippines and exported elsewhere, but I presume that was made in Europe somewhere and just has the name on it. But there you go. Glenn says, I'm afraid of what Marcia might do. The horror. Indeed. We should all just be cautious and respectful of Marcia, because otherwise she might get upset with you. Alice says, I hear Fender is hiring for the second shift. Hey, that sounds good. It sounds good. Yeah, I think they're anticipating a big year next year, which is great to hear. Let me see. Micah is here. Good to see you, Micah. I finally able to catch the stream live. Hello, Dave, and everyone else. Good to see you, Micah. Hope you're well. Always catching you on Instagram, seeing you over there liking posts and stuff, and posting stuff. So good to have you here in the stream. Hope you're well. Cushman NYC is here. Says hi, hey Dave and fellas. Good to see you, Cushman. Hope all is well with you over there. Artemis, she says, hi Scott. Yes, San Miguel is Spanish beer. The Philippines, they have a lot of Spanish influence, I believe, over there. It's a lot of Spanish stuff. I'm not sure. Tagalog is the language, I believe, but it's a very Spanish based or influenced language, I think. So anyway, they do make San Miguel in Spain as well, I believe. I don't really know much about beer other than it tastes good. Mar says, by the way, thinking about the acoustic strings question, the gauge also depends on body shape and wood. On most acoustics, don't go less than 11s, but 10s are sometimes great. On a small body, 10s are great. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. Peter Geo's here, says, hey all, I've been looking forward to this all week. Just finished the Dipped in Tone podcast with Joe Bonamassa on vintage guitars and the jump in value. Worth a listen. Yeah. The Dipped in Tone podcast is very cool. Just one of the guitar podcasts I rarely get around to, but should more often because it is a cool one. But yeah, very, very cool stuff indeed. Everyone should check that out. Scott says, for those who are just getting in, tonight's show is a 1 hour show only. It is 1 hour special, or just maybe we might go a little bit over. Yeah, we'll be just about an hour for tonight. So we've got about 20 minutes to go. Let me see what else we got. Rolling Rocks handy, Al. Says Cushman. You guys and your Rolling Rocks, I don't know, man. It's so long since I've had it. I can't remember it being so good, but hey, can't wait to get it again. Al says, I put 10s on my acoustic about 2 years ago. Haven't played it since. There you go. I used to know a guy, what was his name? Alan, I think. And he put Super Slinkies on his acoustic guitar. Why not? Do whatever you want. It's your guitar, dude. Marcia says, has anyone ever used clear tone strings on an acoustic or electric? Nope. They're not Ernie balls. They're not going on a guitar. Ryan says, I like MGD and Guinness. Both acceptable choices. Yeah, absolutely. Get a good Guinness. There ain't nothing better. Scott says, I had to explain Big Ben's nut sauce to someone. They never heard of it and didn't believe me the name was real. Yes, Scott, that is a tricky one to explain for sure. Nella says, Ernie ball sax for me, for my electrics, 9s or 10s, depending on the guitar. Ernie balls, they're good enough for Slash, good enough for me. That's how I look at it. Anyone else use GHS boomers? I don't, but I know a lot of people love those strings. So yeah, for sure. A good choice. D-Max here. Good to see you. D-Mac, hope you're well. Says hybrid slinkies are great blend of 9s and 10s. If you don't want to go full 10s. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I might look at them, or I might just stick with my 9s. We'll see how it goes. I'm a creature of habit. I'll probably just keep going with the 9s, but I might try them at some point, the hybrids. We'll see how it goes. Peter Gio says, speaking of Fender Jazzmaster Candy Apple Red 1965 for $15,000, anyone? 15,000 euro. Some neck guitars in Dublin. Thing of beauty, though. Yeah, I mean, Candy Apple Red 1965. Is that worth 15,000? I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but yeah, it might be worth that much. Anyway, very cool, very cool. Pretty cool guitar shop, I believe, as well. Haven't been there yet, but must make a trip at some point. My knees hurt says, my first guitar teacher, Berkeley Jazz Dork, said, get Super Slinkies and get the Dario. I got the Dario, and he got very mad at me, so fuck that guy. The Dario till I die. Well, my knees hurt. It's all good. It's all good. Whatever works for you, man. That's super cool. Scott Brower says, I use Ernie Ball 8s on my electrics. Yeah, very cool. If that works for you, that's great. Yeah, I like the thinner gauges. I really do. Although I think 9s is where I'm just that's it for me. I like 9s. I don't really want to go to 8s or 7s. I probably will at some point just to test them out. I remember someone telling me recently that they were testing out 7s or maybe even lower. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Al says to Marcia, yeah, I have them on my LP special. They still look good, but I still can't tell much of a difference between the other strings. Haven't played it enough. Yeah. Listen, in terms of the strings and stuff, they're cheap enough that it's not a big deal to replace them. That's my theory. I know coatings and all that sort of stuff. I don't enjoy that sort of thing. There you go. It's all good. It's all good. The thing is, I say, like, I'll have an opinion on strings and you'll have an opinion on strings. We could be completely different opinion wise. You're probably more right than I am, but hey, it's each to their own preference. And as my knees hurt says, he's the Dario till he dies. I'm Ernie Ball till I die. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. Scott says, that's right. Knees hurt. Strings are players' preference, not teachers. That's exactly it. It's exactly it. Scott says, I use a mix of strings and my guitars. Well, you're wrong. How dare you use a mix when you should be brand loyal to Ernie Ball? Just kidding. But if Ernie Ball want to sponsor me for the channel, that'd be super cool. I'm open to that because I use your strings all the time. This is never going to happen, is it? Anyway, Benny says to Peter, that does sound like a nice guitar. Are you considering buying it? Good question. Yeah, it does sound like a good guitar. Ryan says, wait, you use 2 buffers. I just have one after the fuzz. Haven't finished yet, though, to try it. Well, there you go. I mean, Glenn's got the inside tips, I think. Cute Goth Cousin says, I'll bring you a whiskey, you sexy bearded geezer, you. Shh. I mean, yeah, all right. um, I just fear the new people are going to be like, who are all these characters coming in? The Pell and Blue guitar lover, the black guitar lover, the who's the other guy? The Glenn Bailey. It's all good. It's all good. Marsha says, I've seen lots of ads for clear tone strings lately. That's why I'm asking. Um, yeah, yeah, never heard them myself. Heard of them. Haven't heard them really being played, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're cool. If someone has, that'd be super cool. Scott says you could buy a Back to the Future model and a cheap pedal and DIY your own one, Dave. Stop giving me good ideas, Scott. Would be a cool video to make. Yeah, that is something that could be done, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. 2023 is going to have all kinds of things in it, so we'll get around to some weird shit, I'm sure. Ryan says Long and McQuaid are having a huge Black Friday sale, 10% off. Select Roland and Boss gear. Better line up early for that one. Sounds amazing. Scott says clear tone sounds like a hearing aid company. It does. Ryan says I used to work for a hearing aid company. Well, there you go. Now you see we're all coming together. And Glenn says, Ryan, I use the Emperor Jewel buffer, has an in and out and a separate out for your tuner, so you can keep your tuner out of the main chain. All right, cool. Al says I've tried the $15 strings and the $5 strings. Maybe it's me, but if blindfolded, I don't think I could tell the difference. Playing now, how long they last could be the difference. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Al. To be honest with you, personally, I'm not a huge. I don't think I would know the difference, as you're saying there. To be quite honest, as long as you're in tune, I'm all right with that. Upstairs to the right, music. How are you doing, Mike? Good to see you. It says lots of good craft beer here in Amsterdam. Yes, I've been to Amsterdam. I can vouch for that for sure. Some very cool beers. It's a nice city. It's a long time since I've been there. When was it? 2002, 2003 maybe. So yeah, maybe time to go back. Definitely a long time ago. But yeah, maybe 2023. Take me back to Amsterdam. Who knows? Good to see you though, Mike. Hope you are doing well. Al says, speaking of strings, when I dug out my guitar, bought in '74 and packed away, there was a set of D'Addario strings in, and the price was $4.50. Tells me the price hasn't changed over 40 years. There you go. All that inflation and those strings are still the same price. It says a lot, doesn't it? That's crazy. Peter says, Benny, I wish looking at pics is as close as I'll be getting to the €15,000 Jazzmaster. It's, that's what I do on Reverb all day. Just look at guitars that are probably never going to make it into my collection unless there's some sort of lottery win or something. But yeah, it's nice to look and dream about all of that sort of stuff. AWOL says, I used to drink a lot of Rolling Rock back in the day. Very good beer on tap. I'm sure it is. I don't think I've ever had it on tap. But there you go. Alan says, Marty Music put acoustic strings on electric and electric strings on acoustic. Had really no opinion afterward. Yeah, I mean, it worked for the pal of mine I was saying who did it. It sounded good. So if it works, it works. Ryan says, I have boomers on a couple of guitars. Problem is I forget which guitars I put them on, so I have no opinion. There you go. I think we're getting to the crux of the matter here. If it's not standing out that much. Scott says, I'm thinking of getting some flat wounds. Do I need to know anything before buying? Good question. I don't know. My knees hurt says I put electric on my acoustics when I had bad hand issues. Well, there you go. That's an interesting take. All right. William Farr says, hey, Dave, it's only an hour this week. Are you sure you're only drinking half your beer? Are you only drinking half your beer? I might even not even get that far because I've got 9 minutes. Damn, the cable's gone. I hate this thing. All right, let me just try and jig it till it gets back. It's like the most sensitive cable in the world. There we go. bloody thing. Yeah, it's less than half of it there right now. But cheers for reminding me to stay hydrated. You do the same. Glenn says, creature of habit, you, Dave. No, not Mr. Pelham Blue, Ernie Balls only. Yeah, indeed. It's just because, when I'm buying something, actually, when I go on Amazon or I'm buying guitars or whatever, I'll always throw in some packs of strings just to have them there. There's loads of them in there at the minute because I need to replace strings on nearly all my guitars right now. Al says, Music is Win did a video of using flat wound on electric. Check it out. That's for Scott, who was asking about flat wounds. Very cool. Ryan says, my first guitar teacher got mad at me when I was 12 years old for using D'Addarios. He told me to use Ernie's. Well, there you go. He was right. But yeah, it's so funny when people get upset about what brand you're using. I think it's it's crazy. Pads 1982, good to see you, says, try Nashville tuning strings. Very cool. Thanks for letting us know, and thanks for dropping in to see us this evening. That is very cool. Grandpa Joe says, hello, Dave and everyone today. Hope all is doing well. Cheers to you all. Thanks, Grandpa Joe, for dropping in. Hope you're well. Let me see. What else have we got here? Scott says, I put heavy acoustic strings on my nylon string classical. It probably tore its own neck off by now. Yeah. Marcia says, the problem with the strings below nines is not feeling them under your calluses. I mean, works for Billy. So Upstairs to the Right Music says 65 Strats can vary between 16 to 25,000. Yeah, I don't know the market for Jazzmasters. That's the thing. So I was wondering if 15,000 is a good price. I mean, I'm not in the market for 15,000 1965 Jazzmaster, but yeah, 65 Strats, that would be my estimate for 16 to 20, 25. If only that was on my shopping list. Maybe someday. YouTube's got a long way to go to be paying for that kind of guitar, but there you go. Ryan says, my cute goth cousin wouldn't give away her liquor to anyone. It's an Irish trait. My Knees Hurt says to Marcia, that is the issue with the nines I'm using. I can't feel the top three strings. It's an interesting point, yeah. Marcia says, I hear that, my knees hurt. When I set up my friend's guitar, she wanted nines and I couldn't feel the treble side strings. Well, there you go. Sounds like you got it set up. Ryan says, I've been to Amsterdam a few times. I'd love to go back. I hear they're starting to clean it up a bit. Well, there you go. Yeah, I haven't, as I said, 20 or 21 years, I think. Was I only there the once? I did take a guitar with me. That was a mistake. Backpacking a guitar and just trying to carry everything I owned for a while. It was fun. Ended up spending most of my time sitting in a bar, as you do. Al says, to Upstairs to the Right Music, I've heard that with vintage strings, while they're pricey, it's hard to find a good one. Might find one good out of 10 per Jeff McErlin and Matt Schofield. Interesting. Yeah, those guys seem to know what they're talking about. Glenn says, Marcia, how can I lower the action on my acoustic? I can do it on electric. I have a 90s that needs the action lowered a bit. So there you go, Marcia. Let Glenn know. He's eagerly awaiting the answer. Al says, both of those have vintage Strats. But there you go. And Al says, Glenn, what I've heard is that you have to shave down the bridge. There's no adjustment device. You should research it more. It's good advice, Al. It's good advice. I think Ryan's cousin knocked out the cable bringing that whiskey. It's, I just need better cable management is the key here. Because my cable's literally just lying on top of pedals, actually, and some stuff. And yeah, I guess it's very sensitive. Anyway, Ryan says, yeah, I'll hear that too. Guys get an old Strat or LP and it ends up being disappointing. The ones in good condition are usually the worst ones to play. You want the busted up ones. Yeah, I believe, who did I see saying it? Someone like really big and famous was saying that like the 59s, half of them sound crap. 59 Les Pauls, the bursts, but is those ones that sound great are amazing, but a lot of them sound crap. So I don't know how true that is, but it's interesting. to think that you could spend what, $200 to $300,000 on a guitar and it sound crap just because of what it is, the year and all that sort of stuff. It's crazy. I won't be spending that on a guitar, I don't think, in my lifetime, but there you go. Money's Hurt says you can sand down the bridge a bit or file the nut slots, Glenn, and you should be able to find a YouTube video. Indeed. That's good advice. Scott says, I thought my old tablet was dead, wouldn't charge. Turned out it had a lint in the port. Very common issue, Scott. That just happens. I don't know why, but it does. AWOL says, upstairs to the right music. How's that new Tele Squire treating you? Hoping to try one out. The one you had on your show a while ago, Mike, was very cool. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Al says, shit, I have a lint in my navel. I know, too much info. There you go, Al. I mean, you know, you're stepping into Glenn Bailey territory right there. You're on a warning, last warning. Just kidding. Of course. Glenn says, thanks for the advice. I only have one acoustic and it's a bit high and uncomfortable to play. I'll try that. Thanks. Yeah, give it a shot. Why not? The worst case scenario, you'll just ruin your guitar. Just kidding. DMAX says, I was in Nashville last week. Hutton Hotel has a Fender Play rate for a minimum 2 nights stay. You get a Fender guitar and amp rental plus the Fender Play subscription with the room. That's cool. Yeah, I saw, I think there's a Hard Rock Hotel. They're doing like you can rent a guitar as well for your room. That's the first hotel I saw with, but that's cool. What is it? The Hutton Hotel. So if you're in Nashville, Hutton Hotel give you a guitar. That's pretty cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Al says, my Esteban acoustic has action so high, I get nosebleeds playing it. That's quite high. Indeed. Money's Hurt says to Glenn, I paid to get my acoustic set up like 25 years ago. It was like $50 and it made it much more easier and fun to play. I do the work myself these days. Well, there you go. Yeah, $50 is worth it to make a guitar much more playable. Ryan says, I tried to put 9s on it down electro, but the tuners are shit. And the E kept breaking up, so I gave up. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I do find like with 9s, you kind of have to make sure the nut is okay. A lot of times I will have to replace the nut on a guitar. Or if changing to 9s, you can just file it down, it's fine. But anyway, not file it down. What am I talking about? This is why it's only an hour tonight, because I'm talking a lot of shit. No, a lot of times, especially if I'm buying an old guitar, I'll replace the nut anyway. So then I get Marty to do it for me, and he knows what he's doing, so it's all good. My Knees Hurt says, pull bridge out, flat surface, sandpaper, hold bridge nice, steady, square, lightly sand. Sounds like instructions right there, Glenn. Al says, Fender rates in Nashville and Gibson didn't sue. I mean, they're probably working on it if they can. AWOL says 29 watching and 11 likes on my screen. Well, thankfully we're up to 33 likes, so thanks for that, guys. We do appreciate that. Sometimes YouTube doesn't refresh it while you're watching. It just keeps it at whatever it was when you joined in, but I do appreciate you checking on that for me and calling it out. But I do appreciate that, guys, to be on 33 likes at the minute. That's cool. DMAX says, didn't think about that. To Al, and let me see what else we've got. We're going to wrap up in just a few moments, guys. Glenn says, I had an Ibanez acoustic that played good, and I traded it with a bunch of gear last year for my Gibson LP, and I should have kept the Ibanez and traded the older one. There you go. You know, you live and learn. Next time you'll know what to do. Ryan says, yeah, 59s apparently are generally no good. From what I hear, the 60s are the best. Yeah, that's what I hear, actually, 100%. The ones that I've played and repaired are likely better. The ones that have been played and repaired are likely better. Yeah, heard that a lot as well. AWOL says, refreshed it. I feel relieved now. I appreciate that so much. That's cool. Money's Hurt says, how to adjust the action on acoustic guitar. Stu Mac video on YouTube. Great info. There you go. They do make good info videos for sure. And Glenn is going to check it out. All right, guys. That is 3 Chord Dave number 55. Just a short one for tonight, and we will be back to normal next week, all things going according to plan, for 3 Chord Dave number 56. Thanks to all of you who've joined us, for chatting, for saying hello, and for, you know, just being the coolest community on YouTube. I do appreciate it so much. Don't forget, all the ways you can support the channel are in the links to all of the videos, so make sure to check those out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget, the most important thing you can do is watch the videos. New one will be out on YouTube tomorrow, So make sure you check that out when it's on a premiere. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for joining the chat. I'll see you all again next week. Take care, guys, and have a good week.